I call David Shearer 5 minutes in reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, first of all, can I just thank the parties that have agreed to support this bill? The Green Party, the New Zealand First Party, the Maori Party and United Future Party. Unfortunately, the National Party and the ACT Party are not supporting it, which I find rather extraordinary because this bill, as I explained in my introductory comments, is about self-reliance, is about sustainability, and it's about teaching lifelong skills. It's not necessarily just about growing vegetables. We have a problem in New Zealand. The first problem is that kids are coming to school hungry, and the second problem is that we have obesity problems issue in New Zealand, which is the third worst in the world, and which will cost us billions and billions of dollars if we don't do something about it. Now, I started off, as I began in my earlier comments when I introduced this bill, I started off believing that the solution to this was to provide feeding and food for kids in schools. I looked at other schools and what they were doing and believed that this was not the best way to address something which is not a band-aid on a problem, but is something about ensuring that we have a mechanism and a solution to create an opportunity for schools to be able to teach long-term, lifelong skills. And I want to make sure that people understand on the other side what in fact they are giving up, because I've been criticised with this bill, one, for changing my opinion and my mind on it, and that's something that a politician generally doesn't do. We normally dig ourselves into a huge hole and bury ourselves, and in this particular case I said this is not the right way forward. I disagree, and we need to be going in a different direction, and that's why I've outlined this direction. But the second thing is, sir, is that I've been also criticised to say, well, why isn't National and ACT supporting this? This is about being independent, being self-reliant, and teaching lifelong skills. And I, for the life of me, can't understand it. I think it's a real shame. What I do know now is that there are schools out there right now across New Zealand which are doing remarkable things for their kids. And I want to come back to the school that I mentioned in my opening, sir, which is Iandara, a Decile 1A school in Otara. Around it, the schools around it, kids are coming to school hungry, they have more cavities, they have more health problems, but somehow Iandara is remarkable in the sense that it does not have the same scale of problems that the schools around it have. And the reason for that is that they have brought the community into the school and are with the community and teaching good nutrition. The kids are not being fed by an outside feeding program, they're being fed by the parents themselves, as they should be. Now, I'm not saying in every case that parents are able to do that, and in emergency cases I absolutely see the necessity for feeding kids. But that should not be the solution to hungry kids in school. It is not the solution. It is absolutely not the solution. It is simply addressing the symptoms of a problem and not addressing the problem itself. And that's the underlying tenet of this bill, sir. It was about getting this idea to a select committee where we could actually hear from those experts and the schools that are able to achieve what other schools across New Zealand can't, despite the fact, as the member beforehand said, they have every opportunity. Actually, they don't have every opportunity because they're not doing it. And if they were doing it, we wouldn't have a problem. But they're not. And what we want to be able to do on this side of the House is to provide schools across New Zealand with the ability to have their kids come to school well-fed and be able to have lunches in their schools, but also teach the basic tenets of nutrition that will go home with the kids and make a real difference in the homes that they come from. Instead, we have absolutely squandered an opportunity to be able to do that in this House. I think that's a real shame. I think it's a real shame for those schools out there that are able to do what they need to do. And sir, I want to lead by thanking those parties that have been supporting it, but sir, I believe that those parties that didn't will in effect have missed an opportunity. Thank you very much, sir.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The noes have it. So, a party vote's called for. I'll ask the clerk to conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
32 votes in favour.
Green Party. New Zealand First.
Votes in favour.
Maori Party.
Votes in favour.
Ag New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Members, the ayes are 60, the noes are 60. The motion is not agreed to. Call on members. Order of the day number 5.